Yo peeps, Phoenix back again with a slightly different type of video this time. I wanted to try and do something different, and it kind of gives me a reason as to why there's no Metal Gear Rising update. Yes, the uploads are definitely coming, it's just taking a bit of time, especially with the thing I'm about to talk about today. The reason why I haven't put up no uploads is because I've been stuck on a looter shooter beta, surprisingly, which I don't really put much time into, but this one I seem to play consistently for about a week, which is unlike me. So I thought, why not voice my opinion on the game from a very casual perspective. Now keep in mind, I'm not someone that plays looter shooters, looks at every stat on what item does the best thing. I'm more the hope the equipment I have is good enough to keep me going, and then pick up some hints and tips along the way from randoms that I team up with as I go through the beta. But for everyone wondering what game I'm actually talking about, the game is called the First Descendant. Now I've been seeing this fly about all over social media for the build up to this, which is quite strange because you don't really see an I guess you could call this an MMO looter shooter being advertised quite heavily, especially from not from like an American company, because I believe this is from China or Korea. I'm not 100% sure. I should have done my research, but I know it's an Asian company. It's not from the West. But what do I think of this game from a casual perspective? Did I enjoy it? Did I not enjoy it? Was it good? Was it not good? I'm just going to try and put my thoughts into some type of perspective, and hopefully it gives some people that are casual like me a choice of whether they want to play it or not. Now I believe it is a free to play, but again, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but when it does come out, I believe it's going to be a free to play game, and the only real game I can really compare it to now would be kind of like Warframe, but not really. Now the reason I say kind of like Warframe is because the actual system you use in order to become more powerful. Yes, you still shoot things. Yes, there is an XP bar that goes up. Yes, there's a max level and all that good stuff. And as you level up, you unlock new abilities and things like that. But ultimately, in order for you to become stronger in this game, it's all about the stats of the weapons that you find as you're playing the game, or completing they do like specific missions that can keep going, kind of like a Warframe, which you'll see in some of the gameplay that I put up. All the gameplay is what I recorded throughout my time playing. But it's also the mods that come with guns, or the mods that you apply to your character as a whole. Now before we get there, let's touch on things like what characters are there, what abilities are there, what is the movement of the game, what is the overall basic premise of it, right? So essentially you choose one of, I think, of up to like 10 different types of what they're called descendants, and essentially each descendant has a specialized type of power that they use. Now I didn't get to use them all because, again, kind of like Warframe, the way you collect people in this game is kind of similar to how Warframe does, where you have to get a bunch of different materials and then you craft that person and wait a time limit until that person unlocks. Obviously, with it being, I'm going to assume it's a MMO based on the currencies in the game, that there's real in-game currency, but you could also more than likely spend real money to get in-game currency to kind of speed up these processes that you do. And that's not to say you can't do it without it. It's just, as all MMOs and free-to-plays go, there's some type of in-game currency to speed up some of the process of getting to max level and things like that. So I only played with a couple of characters, and the footage that I'll throw up in the background, you'll see 3 different ones. I played Bunny, which was electricity user. I can't remember her name, but she was a frost type character. And then I played someone that looks kind of like Master Raven from Tekken 7, some ninja type character. And they all have similarities but play completely different in a way. Now once you have picked your character and stuff like that, obviously your ultimate goal is to explore the open world areas that they have, kill things, do little missions, level up, get better weapons, rinse and repeat, so on and so forth, right? But where the uniqueness comes in, and this is where I say it's more specifically kind of like a Warframe game, is these mods, right? And essentially the mods allow you to choose specific perks or upgrades to your character, or to the gun that you're using. So you could get like toxic rounds, for example, chill rounds, for example, fire rounds, electricity. You can do things where you have a bigger clip size in your gun. You can do things where reload time is shorter. You can do things like a HP leech, so the more kills you get with the gun, the more HP the leech is, all that good stuff, right? And there's so many different mods. Again, I don't think I managed to collect them all. I only managed to collect most of them, but again, because it was a beta, they kind of just flooded everybody with the currency, so you could upgrade most of them to see what it will kind of be like once you do hit the end game point of the game. Now I want to say, what's the real reason why I spent a week plus playing this game? Why was I so hooked on this game? Now I will say this a bit, I kind of like Warframe. I have put not much of hours, I want to say probably about 30 hours. I'll screenshot it and throw it on the screen, my Steam playtime. But it wasn't the only place I've played Warframe. I used to play it on PS4 as well for a little bit as well. So I do like Warframe. I like that concept, space ninjas, slashing stuff up, shooting stuff up, great. But I always felt like with Warframe, one, because I was a latecomer, I've missed everything, and there probably is a way to catch me up and things like that, but I think I'm too far gone at this point. And then the other gripe I kind of had was the shooting. Not to say that the shooting is bad, it's just it just didn't sit right with me. I didn't get on that well with it. I ended up mostly, when I was playing Warframe, just slicing people up with the melee weapons and jumping around like a madman. But yeah, the shooting just didn't feel right, and I think that's probably the main reason why I stopped playing Warframe. However, with this game, it's all about the shooting. There are obviously melee attacks within the game, but the main idea is that you use your abilities non-stop and shoot enemies non-stop. That's the overall idea of the game. I'll try to show out some clips of me using the different abilities so you can see what different abilities do. I will say this, after playing three of the three players characters that I play, out of all of them, the one I like the most is probably Bunny. She's just super fast. She has a move where you basically put like a force field around you in a way, but it pulses every so often. So as you're running through enemies, you're just shocking them, and you can like insta kill most enemies. So I think that's why for me, because I'm quite like the person who likes to keep moving and on the go all the time, she suits my playstyle the best. But I did notice a lot of people playing one Titan looking character. I think and then there's one healer as well that can actually put healing bubbles on the ground and things like that. So there is a character, I would say, there's definitely a character for people's different play styles for sure. But I don't think that just limits you to how you play. I think it's more so about the weapons you choose, the mods you put in, and all that good stuff. Now, yeah, like I said, I did put a lot of hours into this game and ended up at what I would assume would be some of the end game content, which is essentially you either do what would be called strikes from like Destiny, I guess, like a strike where you defend an area and continuously over and over again. You'll hit then a certain point and you'll get a reward, and then you can choose to keep going within that, or exit out and take the rewards that you have as one of the parts of the end game content. And the reason you do all that part is because you get the item you need in order to get the material you need to craft the legendary weapon or the new Descendant or whatever it is that you're trying to get. That's the whole reason you do these strike type missions. One's like a defend one, another one's like extermination. There's a few different ones. The other side of the end game content is like bosses. So essentially you and 3 other people jump into a kind of like, only way I could really describe it to something else that I know is in like FF7 Remake, the VR missions when you go into that random place, kind of like that, where you're just basically in a VR area. A boss appears, you have to kill it, has weak points, that sort of thing. Each one has like a gimmick as well. All the bosses are different. And quite which I thought was quite good for a beta as well, is that they had a normal mode of this. So they had a point where you get up to like level 40 in I don't think it was at level 36, I think it was. But then when you get to hard mode, it jumped up from 36 up to level 60, I believe. But the max level you could get in the game was level 40. So it does give you a kind of a challenge on the bosses itself. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to play all the bosses because I was too busy trying different characters as it got towards the end of the game. I spent most of my time with the snow character. I will look it up. I'll put it on the screen because I cannot remember the name of the character. But essentially, I spent most of my time with that character thinking that I should have just stayed with that. But no, one thing this game does good, and in Warframe I'm pretty sure does the same, that it doesn't matter what character you use, your progression is split across the one account. So if I level 40'd one character, I could then change to another character like Bunny and still be in the same place in terms of story and not having to do all of those missions again to get all the stuff open, which I thought was pretty good. I think more MMOs should do that sort of stuff as opposed to making you start it from scratch again. What else did I like in this game? I think I'm gushing way too much over this game. There are some things that I didn't like. In fact, one of the main things I didn't like would be the current optimizations of the game. Now, I'm not saying I have the most powerful of computers, like I'm rocking the 3070 Ti, Ryzen 9 5950X. So nothing mind-blowing out of the ordinary, but decent enough to give me some decent performance. And in pretty much every strike I did, or every open world area I went to, I was hitting the maximum of like 50 to 60 FPS, and that's with like all the graphics set to low, DLSS put to performance, like trying everything to get it to go over 60. When I was fighting bosses though, different story. But again, because there's not as much going on, not much to render, things like that, so that plays a part. So I just thought it was a bit strange that optimization wise, unless you have a 40 series card, you probably didn't have the greatest of experience. I don't know, maybe because I was playing on 1440p, but I play every game on 1440p and I've never seen anything this bad. I even at one point put it on ultra performance, which is terrible to do, but even having it on ultra performance and then changing it to 1080p, because I have another monitor that does 1080p, even that didn't even hit 60 FPS. So I know it's definitely down to the optimization side of the game itself, not so much the hardware that I have. So I'm hoping they either do another play test. They might not, because I don't think there's any official release date for this yet, but if they do another play test, it'll give them time to iron out some of these optimizations, which I think will definitely help with the game, especially with the strikes and things like that. What else in this game? Now, Pete, I also want you to keep in mind this is literally from a casual's perspective. I don't want you guys thinking that I'm here giving you a comprehensive review. No, I'm super casual when it comes to these type of looter shooter MMOs. I just thought, because I haven't been putting any uploads recently and it's kind of put a back burner on the Metal Gear Rising playthrough, I thought I'd talk about this game because it's basically taken all my time. I haven't been playing anything else about this game. I'm actually sad that it's over. I wish it was still up now, because I trust me now, I'd probably be playing it right now. That's it, I guess, peeps. I just wanted to put a few thoughts as to what I thought about this game, because I'm telling you now, once we do get a release date, or if there is another playtest, I will 100% be there to see what's improved, what's better. I'd also like to try some more of the Descendants as well, because again, I didn't get to try them all, but I do want to definitely try some more for sure. And I want to see what other mods there are, because I know I didn't collect all of the mods available in the game, because like any game, there's rare, common, legendary, all that good stuff, and I think I only got about 3 out of the probably 10-20 legendary mods I didn't get to use as well all of the guns as well. So I'd like to try the shotguns and things like that, because I was mainly using by the end I was mainly using hand cannons, submachine guns and snipers, but I do want to try a different type of playstyle, especially because the character that I'm definitely probably going to be when this game is released is going to be all about shotguns, submachine guns, quick guns. So definitely give them a go. But yeah, no, that's it, Pete. I just wanted to quickly put it out there. Tell you what the videos you're probably going to start seeing if this game turns out to be good, because this game has real good potential to be good. But it also, like any MMO looter shooter, it has the biggest way to fail as well. In fact, that's probably one thing that might not help it, is some of these missions are just the same normal stuff that you do in MMO looter shooters. Defend an area, keep doing it of ways of enemies, or take this thing to this place and then beat this boss. It's pretty much like the copy and paste type of missions that you see in most MMO looter shooters. So I hope there's some improvements in that asset, in that sort of area with the missions that you're doing. But we'll see. Time will tell. And like I said, I don't think there's plans for another alpha yet from what I've been looking on their website, and there's no release date. So fingers crossed. Hopefully it's out next year. I know they said it's scheduled to be out 2024, but who knows? We shall see. But yeah, no, that's it, peeps. Hope you enjoy these type of videos. We'll probably do these again, especially if me or OG do play any more betas or alphas in the future. I'm always trying new games, but yeah, this is one that I'm definitely going to be keeping a very close eye on, and more than likely playing at launch. But yeah, you know what to do, peeps. Like and subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.